Snow falls on rubble. The skeletal remains of buildings line the street. German civilians in threadbare coats pick through debris. The war has been over for 18 months, but the devastation remains. A U.S. Army Jeep navigates the rutted road. Inside, Sergeant Jack Morrison, 32. Weathered face, kind eyes, and Corporal Tommy Walsh, 23. Baby-faced, optimistic. Tommy, you ever get used to it, Sarge? Seeing it like this. Jack, no. You don't. They pass women forming a bucket brigade, clearing rubble stone by stone. A child watches from a doorway, hollow-eyed. Tommy, my kid brother's 8. Same age as some of these kids. Can't imagine. Jack, don't. It won't help. The Jeep stops at a distribution point. A line of Germans, mostly women, children, and elderly, stretches around the corner. They wait with cards for ration distribution. Jack and Tommy unload supply crates. A British officer, Captain Henry Davies, 40s, supervises with a clipboard. Davies, British accent, Sergeant Morrison. Supplies are shorter this week. Berlin's population has swelled with refugees. We're stretching everything thin. Jack, how thin? Davies, 900 calories per person per day. If we're lucky. Tommy, low whistle. That's starvation rations. Davies, grim, yes. It is. A German woman, 40s, once elegant, but now gaunt, steps forward with her ration card. A translator, Fru Schmidt, 50s, a local hired by the Allies, stands nearby. German woman, in German, desperate, bit my children. Fru Schmidt, translating. She asks if there is extra. Her children are sick. Davies, pained. Tell her we can only give what's allocated. The woman takes her meager rations, a small loaf of black bread, a bit of fat, and moves away, tears silent on her face. Tommy to Jack, this is... Christ, Sarge. Jack, war doesn't end when the shooting stops, Tommy. Sometimes it just changes shape. Jack and Tommy walk back to the Jeep. Children emerge from shadows like ghosts, Klaus, 9. Thin as a rail, dirty face. His sister Greta, 7. Clutching a filthy stuffed rabbit. And Hans, 11. The eldest, watchful and protective. Hans, in broken English, American? You have bread? Chocolate. Jack, stopping. Where are your parents, son? Hans' father is tot. Father dead. Stalingrad. Klaus, tugging Jack's sleeve, desperate. Mama hasn't eaten for days. Please, sir. She gives us her food. His English is surprisingly good. Learned from occupation forces. Tommy moved, Jesus. They're just kids. Jack, kneeling to Klaus's level. Where's your mother now? Klaus, home. She cannot walk. Too weak. Greta starts crying softly. Hans puts an arm around her. Hans, proud, defensive. We take care of Moody. We are not beggars. But she needs food. Medicine. Jack exchanges a look with Tommy. Jack to Tommy, check the Jeep. What do we have? Tommy, Sarge, if the captain sees. Jack, check the Jeep, Corporal. Tommy hurries off. Jack pulls out a chocolate bar from his own pocket, part of his personal rations. Jack, so indeed. To Klaus, what's your name? Klaus. Klaus Zimmermann. Jack, I'm Jack. This is for you and your sister. He hands the chocolate to Klaus, who stares at it like it's treasure. Klaus, overwhelmed, thank you. Greta, whispering chocolate. Hans, suspicious. Why you help? We are enemies. Jack, standing. You're not my enemy. You're a kid, try to take care of his family. Tommy returns with a medic bag and a bundle. Tommy got some bandages, sulfur powder, and these. He reveals several ration boxes and canned goods. Tommy, CONT'd, from our personal stash. Not official supplies. Jack, to Hans. Can you take us to your mother? Hans, uncertain. You will not arrest her? Jack, we just want to help. Hans studies Jack's face for a long moment, then nods. The building is half destroyed. The children lead Jack and Tommy through a bombed-out entrance, up crumbling stairs. Windows are covered with cardboard. The cold is brutal. Hans, as they climb, before war, this was nice building. My father was engineer. Good job. Klaus, proud we had piano. And books. I could read already when I was 5. Tommy, gently. That's real smart, Klaus. They reach the 3rd floor. A door hangs crooked on its hinges. One room. A mattress on the floor. A small stove cobbled together from debris. No glass in the windows, just rags stuffed in the frames. It's barely warmer than outside. On the mattress lies Margaret Zimmermann, 38. Once beautiful, now skeletal. Her skin is gray. She tries to sit up when the Americans enter, but can barely move. Margaret, in German, alarmed Hans. Was hast du getting? Hans, in German, it's okay, Mutti. They want to help. Jack, to Tommy, check her vitals. Tommy kneels beside Margaret with the medic bag. She flinches. Tommy, gentle, ma'am, I was a medic in the war. I just want to look at you, okay? Margaret, weak, in English, my children, they need food more than me. Jack, when did you last eat? Margaret, hesitating, Tuesday. Maybe Monday. Tommy, to Jack, that's 4 or 5 days. Sarge, she's in bad shape. Malnutrition, probably pneumonia. She needs a hospital. Jack, can we move her? Tommy, she needs to be stabilized first. And warmer. Much warmer. Jack removes his coat and lays it over Margaret. She protests weakly. Margaret, no. You will be cold. Jack, I've got another coat in the Jeep. Tommy, start warming some of that soup from the K rations. Slowly. Her stomach can't handle much. Klaus, hovering, Momma will be okay. Jack, ruffling his hair. We're going to do everything we can, buddy. Greta climbs onto the mattress, curling against her mother. Margaret strokes her hair with trembling fingers. Margaret, to Jack, tears. Why you help? Our country did terrible things. Jack, sitting on the floor beside her. You didn't do those things. You're just a mother trying to keep her kids alive. Margaret, my husband. He was a good man. He did not want the war. But he was conscripted. Sent to Russia. We received notice 2 years ago. Hans, voice breaking. He wrote me letters. Said he was proud of me. That I must take care of everyone. The boy's facade cracks. He's still just a child. Jack, to Hans. You've done a hell of a job, son. Your father would be proud. Tommy prepares soup on the makeshift stove. The smell fills the room. The children stare at it hungrily. Tommy, this needs to heat through. Maybe 10 minutes. Jack, Klaus, why don't you divide that chocolate between you and your sister for now? Klaus carefully breaks the chocolate bar. He gives Greta slightly more than half. Klaus, to Greta. You are smaller. You need more. Greta eats slowly, savoring every molecule. Klaus does the same. Margaret. Before war, I was music teacher. I taught piano, violin. This building, it had culture, art. Now, Jack, it'll come back. It takes time, but it comes back. Margaret, you believe this? Jack, I have to. Silence. Tommy tests the soup. Tommy, ready. Ma'am, this is going to be hot. Small sips. He helps Margaret sit up. She sips the soup. Tears run down her face. Margaret, whispering, thank you. Thank you. Hans, to Jack, there are others. In this building. On our street. Many sick. Many hungry. Jack, I know. Hans, can you help them too? Jack looks at Tommy, then back at Hans. Jack, will do what we can. But there are thousands, tens of thousands. The supplies. Hans, understanding, there is not enough. Jack, no. There's not enough. Klaus, between bites of chocolate, why? Why is there not enough? Tommy, struggling, the war destroyed a lot. Farms, factories, railways. It takes time to rebuild. Klaus, how much time? Tommy, I don't know, buddy. Margaret finishes the soup. Color returns to her face, slightly. Margaret, you are not like the others. Some soldiers, they are cruel. They take things. Hurt people. Jack, jaw tight. Those men don't represent us. Margaret, I know. I see it in your eyes. You are father. Jack, pause, no. I had a girl back home. She married someone else while I was overseas. Margaret, I am sorry. Jack, shrugging it off. War changes everything for everyone. A commotion outside, voices, boots on stairs. Tommy, alert, someone's coming. Captain Davies appears in the doorway with 2 military police. Davies, Sergeant Morrison. There you are. We've been looking for you. Jack, standing, Captain. We were providing medical assistance to Davies, cutting him off. I can see what you're doing. Is that American rations I see? From official supplies? Tommy, no, sir. Personal rations. Ours. Davies, skeptical. Is that so? Jack, it is, sir. This woman is severely malnourished. She has children. We're doing what any decent human being would do. Davies, long pause, studying the scene. You know the regulations, Sergeant. Fraternization with German civilians. Jack, with respect, sir, this isn't fraternization. It's basic humanity. The MPs look uncomfortable. Davies surveys the freezing room, the skeletal mother, the hollow-eyed children. Davies, sighing, how bad is she? Tommy needs hospitalization, sir. Soon. Davies, to the MPs, radio for an ambulance. Tell them we have a civilian medical emergency. MP number 1, sir? Davies, you heard me. Move. The MP hurries out. Davies looks at Jack. Davies, Sergeant Morrison, you're a pain in my ass. You know that? Jack, yes, sir. Davies, to Margaret, ma'am, we're getting you proper medical care. Your children will be fed through official channels. Margaret, overwhelmed, thank you. I have no words. Davies, to Hans, what's your name, son? Hans Zimmermann, sir. Davies, you speak English well. Hans, my father taught me. He said English would be important. Davies, smart man. Pause, Hans. I'm going to arrange for you and your siblings to receive regular rations. There's also a program, displaced children. You get schooling, proper housing. Hans, fierce, we stay together. We do not separate. Davies, the program keeps families together. You have my word. Klaus, to Jack, you will come visit? Jack, kneeling. If they let me, absolutely. Greta, holding up her stuffed rabbit. This is her Hoppel. He wants to say thank you too. Jack takes the rabbit seriously, shakes its paw. Jack, tell her Hoppel he's very welcome. Greta giggles, the first childlike sound she's made. An ambulance has arrived. Medics carefully carry Margaret down on a stretcher. The children follow, Hans carrying their few possessions in a bundle. A small crowd of neighbors is gathered, gaunt faces watching with a mixture of hope and envy. Elderly woman, in German, to another neighbor, the Americans help them. Perhaps there is hope after all. Jack and Tommy stand by the jeep. Davies approaches. Davies, Morrison, you put me in a difficult position. Jack, I know, sir. If there's disciplinary action. Davies, interrupting, there won't be. Because officially, this never happened. You were on routine patrol, discovered medical emergency, responded appropriately. Jack, surprised, sir. Davies, quietly. I have children too, Sergeant. A daughter, 8. A son, 12. Every time I see these German kids, I see them. Pause. We're supposed to be rebuilding civilization here. Hard to do that if we forget our humanity in the process. Tommy, thank you, sir. Davies, don't thank me. Just be careful. Not everyone in command sees it this way. There's still a lot of hate. Jack, I understand. Klaus breaks away from the ambulance, runs back to Jack. Klaus, breathless, I want to give you something. He pulls out a small, battered photograph. A family portrait from before the war. A handsome man in a suit. Margaret in a beautiful dress. The children younger and healthy. Klaus, Sergeant. So you remember. Remember we were normal. Before. Jack takes the photograph carefully. Jack, voice thick, I'll keep it safe. I promise. Klaus, when I grow up, I will be like you. I will help people. Jack, crouching down, Klaus. You're already helping people. You've been taking care of your family this whole time. That takes more courage than anything I've done. They hug. Klaus runs back to the ambulance. Jack and Tommy drive through the ruined city. The photograph sits on the dashboard. Tommy, you think they'll make it? Really make it? Jack, I don't know. Tens of thousands. We gave them a chance. Jack, I know. Sometimes that's all you can do. Tommy, we can't save them all. Tommy, there are so many more. But we saved one family today. Maybe that has to be enough. They pass more ruins, more civilians scavenging for survival. Tommy, my girl back home. She writes me letters. Asks why we're helping the Germans. Says they deserve what they got after what they did. Jack, what do you tell her? Tommy, haven't figured that out yet. Jack, thoughtful. Tell her that hate is easy. It's forgiveness that's hard. And rebuilding, that's harder still. But if we don't do the hard things, if we just let hate breed more hate, then all those men who died, on both sides, they died for nothing. Tommy, you think the folks back home will understand that? Jack, some will. Some won't. But it doesn't change what needs to be done. They drive in silence for a moment. Tommy, that kid, Klaus. He called you a hero. Jack, I'm not a hero. I just gave a hungry kid some chocolate. Tommy to him, that's everything. Jack picks up the photograph, studies it. Jack, quietly, they were just people, living their lives. Then it all went to hell. Pause, could have been us. Could have been my family. Could have been yours. Just luck of geography. Tommy makes you think. Jack, yeah, it does. The Jeep pulls up to the guard post. An MP waves them through. Tommy back to reality. Jack, looking back at the ruined city. This is reality, Tommy. This is what war actually costs. The shooting is just the beginning. They drive through the gate. Jack sits on his bunk, writing a letter by lamplight. The photograph of the Zimmermann family is propped up beside him. Jack VO, dear Mom. Today I met a boy named Klaus. He's 9 years old, smart as a whip, and braver than most soldiers I knew. He's been keeping his family alive at a frozen ruin, with nothing but scraps and willpower. He reminded me that courage doesn't always look like what we expect. Sometimes it looks like a kid sharing his chocolate with his little sister. Sometimes it looks like a mother starving so her children can eat. He pauses, pen hovering. Jack VO. So indeed, you asked me in your last letter what I'm fighting for now that the war's over. I think I finally have an answer. I'm fighting for the chance that Klaus and his family get to be normal again. That maybe, someday, they can look back on this time as just a bad memory instead of their entire reality. That's worth fighting for. That's worth staying for. He signs the letter, folds it carefully. Early spring. The snow is melting. Green shoots push through the rubble. The city is still devastated, but there are signs of life. More people in the streets, a crew repairing a building, children playing in a cleared lot. Jack and Tommy drive through in their Jeep. They turn down a familiar street, a building that's been partially repaired. Clean windows, a painted door. Jack and Tommy get out carrying boxes. The door opens. Hans answers, cleaner, healthier, wearing new clothes. His eyes light up. Hans, shouting inside, Moody. Klaus. The Americans are here. Margaret appears, transformed. Still thin but with color in her cheeks, brightness in her eyes. She wears a simple but clean dress. Margaret Sergeant Morrison. Corporal Walsh. Klaus and Greta rush out. Greta still has a hopple. Klaus, excited, you came back. You really came back. Jack, grinning. Told you I would. Brought supplies. They carry the boxes inside. Clean, organized, warm. A small table with chairs. Books on a shelf. A picture of their father on the wall. Margaret, pouring ersatz coffee. Sit, please. It is not much, but it is home. Tommy, it's nice, ma'am. Real nice. Hans, I start school next week. Real school, not just rations class. Klaus, and I'm learning to read English. Show them, Moody. Klaus produces a children's book in English. Reads haltingly but proudly. Klaus, so indeed. The boy had a dog. The dog was big and brown. Jack, that's great, Klaus. You're doing really well. Greta, holding up a drawing. I made this. For you. It's a crayon drawing of a soldier giving chocolate to children. The soldier has a big smile. Jack, touched, this is beautiful. Can I keep it? Greta, nodding shyly, it's you. You're the hero. Jack, crouching down, no, sweetheart. Your mom is the hero. Your big brother. Your whole family. You survived. That's the bravest thing of all. Margaret, emotional. Without you, we would not have survived. You gave us hope when we had nothing. Jack, you would have found a way. You're stronger than you know. Hans, serious. When I grow up, I will rebuild Berlin. Make it beautiful again. Like Fata wanted. Jack, I believe you will. A moment of comfortable silence. Then Klaus notices something outside the window. Klaus, excited, look. Music. Through the window, we see a street musician with a violin playing in the courtyard. A small crowd gathers. Some people are smiling. Margaret, softly. Music in the streets again. I thought I would never hear it. Jack, standing, looking out. It's coming back. Slowly, but it's coming back. The camera holds on the scene. The musician playing. People gathering. Children laughing. Life persisting against all odds. Margaret VO. You asked me once if I believed things could be normal again. Now I do. Because of you, we have tomorrow. And tomorrow we have hope. By 1948, the Berlin airlift would bring supplies to millions of Germans, facing Soviet blockade. Former enemies became allies. Children like Klaus, Hans, and Greta grew up to rebuild Germany into a thriving democracy. Small acts of humanity in the darkest times reminded both sides of their shared humanity. The Zimmermann family is fictional, but their story represents thousands of real families who survived through the compassion of former enemies.